guys, what's up? This is Shweta Roy, your English master teacher at Vedantu, and welcome to today's session. In today's session, we are going to discuss the most important topics that can come from the chapter, from the poem, The Cold Within. So, we have already discussed the poem in the previous session. Now, in this session, we are going to deal with some of the most important questions that can come for your exam. So before beginning the session, let me first thank all of you for making Vedantu 9th and 10th family a family of 9 lakh young minds. And I would again like to introduce to you a live online quiz where you can score, earn as well as learn. So what are you waiting for, guys? Just download the app and start scoring, learning and earning. So now we will go into the question answers of the Cold Within. So I would discuss the most important questions, and if you prepare these questions, basically whatever questions will be asked in your examination, you are for sure you will be able to answer them and handle them, because there are not many questions that you need to prepare from this poem. Basically, if you understand the concept, if you understand the theme of the poem, the title of the poem related to its theme, you will definitely be able to answer or tackle any question that comes in your exam. So again, a gentle reminder to all of you to download the Vedantu app, because we are committed to help the parents as well as students, and your learning would be absolutely free from any kind of interruption and also from the safety of your home. So download the app, and in order to know more, you can check out this link. So now let's start off with the exercise. The first question is there any significance of the logs of wood in the hands of the 6 people? So while I was discussing the poem with you, I already discussed that the log that they are holding, each person is holding a log in their hand, right? So the log that they are holding is suggestive of sin, right? So if they would have put the log in the fire, then that would have meant that they would have helped others from dying and eventually themselves as well. But what did they do? They refused to put the log into the fire, which is again suggestive of their holding on to the sin, right? So if they are held on as they are, that means they are holding on to the sin even beyond death. Each man's prejudice, that is greed, envy, arrogance, revenge, spite, intolerance, these are the prejudices or the sins which are represented symbolically by the stick that they are holding in their hands. What could these persons have done? Very easy. Each person could have given his share of the log and kept the fire burning, thereby symbolizing the warmth in their heart as well as saving themselves from the cold outside. So each person could have relinquished his log to keep the fire going and could have saved each other from dying in the cold. So symbolically, they could have got rid of their sins, and they could have kept alive their faith and also saved themselves from damnation. So whenever you are answering any question related to the poem, try to go into the literal level as well as symbolic level. So any poem has 2 levels, as I always keep telling you that story, poem, these have always 2 levels. You need to go deeper into the poem or the story in order to analyze the deeper level, unfold the depths, the layers, right? And you need to address the symbolic level as well. Next is, why was each man in the group unaware of self-destruction by his action? So yes, they were completely unaware of the fact that if they do not give the share of their log, then eventually they would be unable to keep the fire burning and they would die of the bitter cold, right? So they were unaware of this fact on the literal level. But in the symbolic level, they were so consumed by the hatred, racism, self-centeredness, arrogance that they remained unaware of the destruction that they are causing to themselves. So their action of not putting the log into the fire to keep the fire burning, showing the coldness of their heart within, is they are unaware. That shows that they are unaware of the destruction that they are causing to not only the entire humanity, but also, like, if they are causing destruction to the entire humanity, obviously they will also be destroyed in the process, because they also share this common bond of humanity. Next is, what killed the 6 men? Very, very, very important question. This question can be asked in several ways, but the answer remains the same. You just need to mold it according to the question asked, right? Now, the 6 men, this is basically related to the theme of the entire, poem. So basically the title, the theme, and this question, they are all the same. Okay, so if you're doing this question, you're doing many other questions simultaneously. So the 6 men did not die because of the cold without, that is cold outside, but they died of the cold that is within their hearts. What kind of coldness? Feelings of revenge, greed, hatred, selfishness, racism, arrogance, intolerance, all these prejudices that eventually led to their death. The poet emphasizes the idea that it is the cold within men's heart which led to their death and their doom. Next, the poet refers to a dying fire, who was sitting beside it and why. So the poet in the poem refers to a fire which was dying, and who was sitting beside that fire? 6 men. And they were trapped in a bitterly cold place, as the poem says in the beginning of the stanza, right? And remember that the poet refers to these 6 men as humans, suggesting the common bond of humanity which is shared by every individual, and that bond which unites every one of us, irrespective of the artificial walls that we create by ourselves. The poet refers to a fire which was slowly extinguishing, and none of them were willing to keep it going by relinquishing their logs. Hence, the fire which was keeping them alive was dying. The warmth that was there in man's heart would eventually die off if they do not keep it burning. How? By relinquishing their hatred, their artificial boundaries. So this bond of humanity will eventually fade away, and if the bond of humanity fades away, then human beings will also fade away. That is the essence of the entire poem. Now, why did the men keep back their sticks? Very important. The men kept their sticks back and did not put it in their fire because of the coldness in their heart. So you could see that every answer is basically concerned with the theme of the poem. So if you could understand what is the basic theme, the message that the poet is trying to give you, you could handle all the answers which is asked in the exam. So they were praised to the sin of racism, right? So they were yes, they had this racism, greed, intolerance, and all these prejudices in them. What are the poetic devices in the poem, and how do they contribute to the meaning, or how do they affect the poem? So this poet, he uses various figurative language, various poetic devices. And his use of diction, figurative language, use of rhyme is only to point out that prejudices are controlling human action in such a way that it would ultimately lead to the death of the human being and death of the human bond that we share. The line that the poet starts with in the poem is 6 humans trapped by happenstance. Now, this diction is very important. Why? As I told you about the word humans. That means he's kind of universalizing the concept, talking about all human beings. He has not used the word people. People would have meant different, right? Like we have different association with the word people, but human means sharing of the common bond of humanity. People would have meant individualization, but human, the word human is universal. Next is another curious use of the diction is trapped in happenstance. Happenstance means what? An event that might have been arranged, although it is accidental. Maybe their fate had arranged such an event, but although it is accidental. The fact that he says that they are trapped suggests that they do not want to be in the situation. So sometimes we do not want to be in any particular situation, but we are trapped by our fate, by our fortune. Right? Their dying fire in need of logs, that means that the fire is keeping them warm, but also stands as a metaphor for their sinful soul, because they are dying away, that fire is going to die, and they are refusing to put their logs in the fire to keep it burning. They are committing what kind of sins, which we have already mentioned: racism, envy, arrogance, revenge, and greed. By saying that they need to add the logs to the fire, suggests that they need to help out to someone else in order to help themselves, or else they would freeze to death. So that means they need to rise up against these artificial bonds of artificial prejudices and artificial walls of caste, creed, etc., in order to save the larger humanity. Otherwise, it will lead to the perishing of the human race. Opening up and not being greedy will warm their souls, and they will save themselves. The rhyme of the poem sets up an easy read. So since it is rhymed, so we can follow the rhythm and it becomes an easy read. So it helps us to catch the message that the poem wants to convey. And the rhythm is important to the theme of the story, because it makes reading of the poem faster. So it has a particular rhythm which makes the read faster, and we can easily catch the message of the poem. This is important because this indirectly shows how fast arrogance, greed, and sin can kill you. Next is James Patrick Kennedy effectively portrays his point about hatred killing you by using diction, figurative language, and rhyme. His persuasion in the poem is really helpful in understanding the entirety behind his point. And this poem makes you think about yourself and to the lengths which you could go, either hurt someone else or to save. So what do you want? You want, your hatred for someone is overpowering, is so overpowering that you would hurt that person even if you yourself die in that process. Or you could rise above the hatred and strive towards the goal of saving humanity. Next is, what point is the author trying to make? This poem has a very clear message, conveying the message of dangers and even the futility of discrimination and racism. The poet touches on how each of the person around the fire died. Why? Because they had the coldness in their heart, and they were unable to accept each other. He wants to suggest to all humans to avoid such kind of prejudices, because that would definitely bring us down and eventually would call the downfall of the entire humanity. Discrimination would ultimately cause our doom. That is what the poet is trying to say. Next is, how does the poem relate to our study of the diary of Anne Frank and the events of the Holocaust? So if you remember, what was the theme of that diary of Anne Frank? That was also hatred, right? The Germans, they hated the other people. They were only, they were proud of their own line of blood and their, just their race. So they followed this racism and they annihilated all other people except, they considered this German blood as the only purified race, German race, and they hated the others. The Jews were tortured, right? And that is what we have in the Diary of Anne Frank, how the people were hiding, right? And what happened. So this was because of the policy of immense hatred and annihilation of all other people except the Germans that was carried on by the Hitler, like by the dictator Hitler, right? So this poem also conveys similar kind of, hatred and sin which can lead to the death of everyone. It consumes everyone irrespective of their caste, creed and color. So death is the, ultimate, death is that which actually kind of unifies everyone. So if you remember in the previous chapter when we did, which was about Chief Seattle's speech, so Chief Seattle also said that we can only be brothers in the hands of death, which is the only inevitable truth. So death unifies everyone, right? Even when we are discriminated by various caste, creed, color, gender, etc. But where are we unified? We are unified in the hands of death. Chief Seattle also mentioned this in his speech. So in the poem The Cold Within, it is the cold-heartedness which killed the characters, right? This poem symbolizes the coldness, their coldness as in their prejudices. Eventually, this is what that killed them. Now, can we say that the poet has succeeded in conveying his point? Yes, the poet has succeeded in conveying his point. He has effectively portrayed his point about killing by using his, beautiful diction, figurative language, rhyme and rhythm. The persuasion is really helpful in understanding the entire poetry or his entire, the point that he wants to convey. This poem really makes you think about yourself and the lengths to which you would go either to hurt yourself or hurt someone else or to save yourself, ultimately saving everyone else. That means we need to help out someone even when we are hating that person, right? Which may be a difficult, thing for us, but we need to rise beyond that, beyond the hatred in order to save humanity, therefore save ourselves. So he has successfully used the literary devices and narrative to project this point. And what is that point? That prejudices cannot control people's lives and action, right? Sorry, prejudices control people's lives and action. So if we are prejudiced against something, if prejudice is to that extent, we may end up perishing the entire humanity. What is the tone of the poem? His tone seems condemning, scornful. Also, it seems to be warning you about the results of a cold heart. In the beginning, the poem unwraps as a story or the tale. Then the author uses negative language like idle, lazy, shiftless, etc. These are the words which suggest negativity. The people in the poem illustrate the coldness within and how destructive it could be. Next is what is universal about the theme. Very, very, very important. The message that the poem tries to convey. One of the greatest challenges to our humanity is what is acknowledging and overcoming our natural tendency to think less of and discriminate against people who are different from us. This is very natural tendency of every individual to think that we are beyond, we are above, the others. And we try to discriminate between people racially, ethnically, religiously, or ideologically. So all the war that is carried on the name of religion, on the name of race, on the name of ethnic origin, these are very, 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 this could lead to the perishing of the entire humanity one day. This is very dangerous. Despite persistent rhetoric about prizing diversity, political debates often reflect disdain and contempt for those we disagree with, and prejudices of all sorts are more readily stated. So, even a political debates which we have, they also reflect what? Disdain, contempt, right? So, this is what, religion becomes a major theme in politics. So these are all what? These are all the different kind of prejudices. So in this poem, the poet is trying to remind us about what is at stake when we talk about all these various prejudices. The larger humanity is at stake when we are actually talking about these different prejudices that we have in our mind, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this session and this session was useful for you. So these are basically the questions that you need to prepare, and out of these also many questions you could see that the answer is almost the same. So basically if you can prepare the theme and one answer on the analysis of the entire poem, I'm sure that you would be able to handle all the other questions. So no need to worry about the questions that can come, because nothing will come outside the poem. It's just that you need to have a deeper understanding of the poem in order to be able to tackle all the questions that can come. So thank you guys. Take care. See you again in our next session. Bye bye.